everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Stella Live, and in today's video we are going to be doing some Dollar Tree DIYs. If you have been here since around the beginning of the season, I have talked a few times about waiting for Dollar Tree to put out these signs, and finally they have put them out. I also wanted to mention that a few of the supplies came from Walmart because unfortunately Dollar Tree does not offer a couple of the items that I needed to use. But anyways, the very first thing that we are going to be doing is making a coffin coat hanger. And I did this by taking 3 coffin signs and gluing them together with E6000 glue. And the reason why I needed 3 of them is because we are going to be putting screws through these and we don't want it sticking out the back of it. So I glued these all together and then I put some heavy weighted objects on them, let it dry, and then I came back and I put these little hangers on the back of them. And I actually, these are what I'm talking about. I do not advise you use these. I actually ended up getting some D-rings from Walmart instead and used those because these actually ended up breaking when I tried putting it on the wall. They are not very sturdy. So again, I suggest using the D-rings instead of these, but I just basically measured out where I was going to put them, and I put them in 2 different spots because I didn't want the sign coming off the wall when I take my coat off of it or my purse off of it. The next thing I did was I took some of these self-adhesive wall tiles and I stuck them to the coffin sign, and this is just an extra step. It is totally unnecessary, so if you want to save yourself a little bit more money, you can just go ahead and skip this step. After I stuck the tiles to the sign, I took some scissors and I cut as close to the edge as possible, and I was also surprised by the fact that the adhesive and the actual tile part are not glued together. So I did have to take some E6000 glue and glue it back to the adhesive part. And after I did that, I took an X-Acto knife and I went around the sign and got as close as I could to make it even, I guess. The next thing I did was I took one of these hooks from Walmart that I purchased for a couple of dollars, and I decided where I was going to place it. I did end up using a drill to make some holes. I put marks on here and then I ended up taking my drill and drilling some holes, and I did not go through all of the signs. I just did little holes so I could get the screws started, and the drill is probably not necessary. You could do it with just a screwdriver and some screws. And I also did end up painting this first before I put the hook on because I thought I was going to leave the hook silver, but I did end up painting it, which you will see later on. The next thing I'm doing is taking some flat black Rust-Oleum spray paint that, again, I purchased from Walmart, and this step is unnecessary. If you don't put the tiles on here, you don't have to spray paint it black. In fact, you obviously don't have to spray paint it black. You could leave it silver if you wanted, or you could use acrylic paint if you don't put the adhesive tiles on there. Anyways, as I did mention, I ended up spray painting this little hook black because I just preferred it black. I didn't really like how the silver against the black looked, and here is how it turned out. The next DIY that I'm going to show you is basically the same concept as the first, but this time we are going to be making a coffin keyring holder. And these coffin signs I actually purchased from Dollar General for $1 a piece. And I have seen on the Dollar Tree website that they have something similar to these. I, however, have not seen any of them in the Dollar Tree stores that I have been into, but you can find these at Dollar General. Again, I'm just gluing all of them together with some E6000 glue. And I will say I was overly generous with the glue. You definitely do not want to put on as much glue as I did because it was oozing out the sides. Once again, I am taking one of these triangle hangers and I am nailing it through the back so we have a way of hanging it on the wall. And this triangle hanger was actually fine for this since it was not nearly as heavy as the coat hanger version. And I also wanted to let you guys know I spray painted this as well, but you could definitely just use acrylic paint. However, you can still see the words "Enter if you dare" in certain lightings. So if that is something that is going to bother you, I would definitely suggest sanding it down. I don't really know if it will show up if you use acrylic paint, but in my experience with using the spray paint, I can still see the lettering. It kind of bugs me. It kind of bugs me a little bit, but since I keep it in a darker part of my house, I can't really see it. Now, some of you may be asking why I just didn't use the raw side of the sign, and that is because I actually did try doing it on that side, but the sticker from the dollar price mark actually left a residue behind, and yeah, it was just an atrocious mess. So I decided to use the sign that has the image on it, but here is the final product. I absolutely love this. Now, I do have another DIY for the larger coffin sign, but that is going to be in a DIY video all on its own. So in the meantime, let's do a spooky Gothic plant. I purchased this from Dollar Tree Plus. It was $5, and I'm just taping off the bottom of the pot because the pot is already black and doesn't need any spray paint. So again, I'm taking my Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint and I'm just doing very, very, very light coats on the tops of the leaves, and I spread the leaves out as much as I could, and I did have to wait for this to dry several different times because I did a coat on the top and then I did a coat on the bottom, and then I also painted the rocks. This is just a really great piece for all year long if you're someone who decorates spooky all year long. And here is the final product. The next DIY that I have to show you is something super simple. I just took one of these LED nightlights and then I also took an image from one of these rub-on transfer sheets and I stuck it to the nightlight. Super simple, like I said. However, there is one difficulty with putting these on. When you're rubbing the image onto the nightlight, you have to make sure that you're rubbing only on the imaging part, or you will get scuff marks around the image. So I will show you shortly here what I mean. Now, these rub-on transfers are pretty forgiving. If the image is still sticking to the transfer paper when you pull it up, immediately put it back down and rub on the spot that it started to come up at. Man, I sound so intelligent when I'm explaining things, but I think you guys get the point. And here is the final product. So the very last DIY that I'm going to show you in this video is a spiderweb Victorian Gothic tray, and somehow I lost the beginning footage of this, but I took two signs and I glued them together, and these signs were from their Easter line. But of course, as you know, Dollar Tree sells all types of signs all year long, so you can find signs in the store now. You could even do this with the Coffin sign, but I went ahead and grabbed some of this shelf liner and I put it on top of the tray. And you don't want to do what I did. I actually just peeled some of the backing off of it and then I stuck the tray on top instead of cutting out a piece. But I did end up being able to salvage the rest, so that's at least good, I guess. So here I'm just taking my X-Acto knife and cutting around the tray to get it flush to the sides of the tray. And once again, I'm taking some of these rub-on transfers and I'm just sticking the little spiders all over the tray. And then the very last thing I'm doing is attaching these handles that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. They were $3.99 a piece, but I did purchase them when they were 50% off. And I did also have to buy the screws for these because they do not come with screws. But I was very, very pleased with how this turned out. And here is the final product. Anyways, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have some more ideas that I'm going to be posting very, very soon. And then we will be getting into my decorate with me videos. I hope to see you guys all next time. Bye!